It's a mess, obviously, but I have to tell you, to be very clear, I think this is a failure of leadership of the highest order. This government has never explained to the British people the real consequences of the decisions that were put to it and the alternatives that there are today and there have been. It's been trying to solve for three things, which can't be all solved at the same time. First, leave the customs union and the single market first. Second, to avoid a hard border between Northern Ireland and Ireland. And the third is to avoid a hard border in the Irish Sea. All three things can't be solved for at the same time. You can solve for two of the three. But in no time has this government explained to the British people, here are the consequences of the decisions before you. Hence, magical thinking, 2 years have been wasted, and we're now faced with potentially a very turbulent week.
Can I just go to what it means then in terms of an extension or delay to Brexit? Because I don't disagree with you with the way this has played out, but this week we've got three big decisions, three big votes on the table, and one could effectively mean we see an extension to the time frame. Now, some businesses are saying that's a complete disaster because they've put in place contingency plans for an exit in March. Some are stocking up on more inventory so it could stretch out their cash flows even longer. What do you think the outcome should be this week based on how far we've travelled to get to this point, the indecision, and now what it could mean to business if there's an extension to the time frame?
Well, you're right. That means additional uncertainty for business, which is not good. The EU will, if requested, consider an extension, but the question will be for what end? They won't just grant an open-ended extension of certainly more than 3 months. They'll say, do you want an extension to have another vote? Do you want to have a people's vote? Are you going to come up with a new proposal? If the answer is no to both of those things, the EU may say, why would we give you an extension for you to come back with ideas that have already been rejected over the past few months? So that's the uncertainty. But I agree with you. Look, there's no good option here for business. But if there's an extension, either to come up with a new proposal or to put a people's vote, then potentially this has an outcome that's positive for business. It's certainly better than crashing out with no deal.
How would you regard the attitude and the negotiating position that Brussels has taken here? I mean, it was interesting over the weekend that Michel Barnier chose to go to the Irish rugby game and was seen on the stands, much to the ire of some of the Northern Irish, I think, who attended that game. The Irish Times writing it up as Barnier witnesses, quote, secure Irish backstop in action on the pitch, which was a nice mixing of the sport and the politics. But every time Brussels comes back with something like a unilateral exit that treats Northern Ireland differently from the rest of the United Kingdom, they are being provocative, aren't they? They are messing with the politics and the sovereignty of this country, rather than playing the man straight, which would be to negotiate around the idea of what happens with the customs union.
Right. I don't agree with that, and here's why. First, Ireland is a member of the 27. Now, it's obvious that the EU will show solidarity with a member that's continuing and not seeking to leave the club. But secondly, I don't think the EU has been provocative because the issue of the border is a natural result of the red lines that this Prime Minister has sketched already 2 years ago now in her speech. Leave the single market and leave the customs union. The proposal that was made was an effort to find an exit from this impasse. If you really want to avoid a border in the Irish Sea, well, then we will have just the backstop apply to Northern Ireland. Now, that's not a very popular proposal, but it is an effort to find some kind of a solution.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.